Time the population was illiterate, so what happens? Now things also change. That's why now in standard 1 or 2 or grade 1, 2, there's no interpretation from the local language. Together. So when we talk about self-awareness, our self-awareness goes with time. Now you are grown up enough. You have finished Form 4. You have finished primary school. Now you are in colleges. Are you awareness the same? Even right now, while we are still here, all of us here, our awareness are not the same. Our self-awareness. It's reverse. It's reverse. So in that case, therefore, we must look at things. Because sometimes our publicity is very important. See? Because, for example, when the principal was trying to give you my profile, he was trying to look at my self-awareness that I am going to do, which is just like a career progression. You see? Now, when we look at education, what is education first? What is education? Now, you see, when we talk about education, education is a Latin word. It came from different words. It came from what we call eduquare, eduquere, educatio, educo. These are words that are used by the Latins to explain to us about what is education. Eduquere means to lead. Eduquere means to bring up. Educatio is to lead. Eduquere is to test. So when we talk about education, education is a process. It is a process whereby it has got the beginning, but it has no end. And that's why we say that when, for example, somebody starts from Form 1, or I mean primary school, went to secondary school, went to university, that is not the end of education. Right now, for example, I have got my PhD, I'm called doctor. That is not the end. Still, I'm going on with my education. Because every time there's new things coming, you must learn new things that is coming. So education has a beginning but has no end. It is a process. Is that? It's a process. So sometimes people are saying that because they have got maybe their degree, they say that is enough. It's not enough. Not enough. Now, what is the importance of education? What is the importance of education? Why are we learning? Why are we learning? Why are we learning? Why? Now, when we look at the importance of education, we can say these are the following. The following are the importance of education. One, it is a transformative nature. Must have a transformative nature. It must transform us from one level to another, changing us from one state of life to another life. Two, it is a universal right. Education is a universal. According to the even the UN know, supposed to be universal. If you look at, for example, 2030, one division, it says that by the time it reaches 220, if somebody does not know how to read and write, then he's supposed to be declared as the most illiterate person in the world. When it reached 2020, it was found that there were very many people who are still illiterate. So what happened? Are we going to declare all of them to be the most illiterate person in the world? No. We are moving to 230. So by 230, if you don't know how to read and write, then we are supposed to declare you as the most illiterate person in the world. Why? Because education is a right, and everybody is supposed to get what? Education. Next. Education is a lifelong process. It's a lifelong process. Meaning that we are supposed to learn throughout our life. Education has no end. It has only the beginning, but it has no end. So we need to continue with our education the whole of our life. Whether you are a mother, whether you are a father, whether you are just a single or what, we are supposed to continue with our education. Don't say, I have finished Form 4 and that is enough. No. Don't say, I have finished the vocational training center or technical education center and that is enough. No. Continue. Next. Education is a collaborative and interactive process. We need to collaborate with each other. We need to interact with each other. Because education is supposed to be given to you by different stakeholders. We have got the teachers here. We have got the students here. If the teachers are not there, there's no students. If the students are not there, there's no teachers. If the parents are not there, there's no teachers and there's no parents. So education must have three stakeholders. Must have how many stakeholders? Three major stakeholders. They are also called the three pillar stones. The three pillars. In the olden days, for you to cook food, you must use three stones. Can you use two? Can you use one? Can you use three? If you use three, what happens? You can cook the most delicious food in the world. Meaning what? Three means is a companions. We are supposed to work together. It is a team. So in an institution of learning, we must have those three stakeholders. Who are the three stakeholders? Who are those three stones? One is the student. The second one is the staff, whether teaching or not teaching. And the third one is the parents. See, everybody has got their own work, those three people. The parents have got their role, the teachers and the teaching staff have got their role, the students have got their own role. So we must have that interaction. We must have that collaboration with those stakeholders. Next, critical thinking. Education is supposed to be something that will bring us that critical thinking. You are asking me a question. Sometimes the teachers are here. Sometimes the student can ask you a question that is too hard for you to answer. You don't have the answer with yourself. The learner can ask you the question. What do? You tell them, zamani naona ya kwamba walimu wanasema jinga unaniuliza swali gani? Badala ya kusema sijui, anakuambia nini? Stupid, what are you asking me? Is that the way we are supposed to do? No. So what are we supposed to do? Be intelligent. As a teacher, we need to be what? Also very intelligent. Because you have been asked the question by the learner, you don't know, you don't have the answer. So we don't just abuse the learner, or we don't just leave it. We must look for the answer. How do you look for the answer? Yes, you can just go to the books, you can go to the internet today, you can get the answer from there. So, you are now inside the class, but you have been asked and you don't know the answer, so you don't tell the child you don't know the answer. Tell them, or just pose the question. Yeah. The mom has asked a very good question. Now, class, you can answer the question. Let the class look for the answer. If the class are unable to get the answer, so what are you supposed to do? Yeah, and you don't have the answer, you tell them now, give them an homework. Give them an homework, let them find out for the answer. So that the next day, when you start your lesson, and you have also wait and look for the answer, now just start your introduction to the lesson by that question and yesterday by the others. That's what we call the critical thinking. Waiting for finding out for the answer. So that tomorrow when the learners answer the question, then we can now do what? Yes, the question has been answered, and then you can add more and more to the what the learners have answered. Then the other one is it's a collaborative process. It's a collaborative process. Now, you see that things are changing day by day, as we say. We are in how much century? Yes? We are now in 21st century. What was being done by 20th century is different from what is being done here. So, in this 21st century, what are the things that have come up? We have got what we call technological and digital transformation. The technology has changed. We are now having what we call digital mix, whereby in that when we talk of laptops, when we talk of maybe smartphone, all these things is now technology that has come up. So we must be aware of all these things that is happening. And then we say that we are in a now global village. Meaning what? You see, the world is large. Formerly, in the olden days, we talk about the continent. How many continents are there? How many continents? Anasema sisi wengine 7 milioni sasa. Yes? 7. Yes. Now, those 7 continents that we are having, each of those continents are very big countries. So in the world today, there are very many countries. And That's why we say that all these countries are doing their own thing, standing with their own thing. And therefore, we are not supposed to be standard in one place. We are supposed to move. Today you are in Kenya. Always there. You can be tomorrow in America. Another day you are in Germany. Another day you can be in another country. So we need to look at the world as a form of globalization. Because when we look at globalization, we are looking at those things. Because what happens in another country, after some few days or some few months, it's already in Kenya also. Now, next. When we look at still that one, we look at sustainability and environmental awareness. Nowadays, we are told that what we call climate change. Climate change. What is the change? What changes are taking place? Yeah. Global warming. Sure. Yeah, global warming. If, for example, you go to some area, right now it is hot here. Right? But in the morning it is cold. But there are some areas, from morning to the sunset, it is very hot. But in an area, there are some areas whereby from morning after sunset, it is very cold. Sure. And that is why, you see, the timetable of those areas are not the same as the timetable that we are using today. You see? For example, in a very cold area, like in Morocco, like in Mau, in Kenya, those are the coldest areas. When is the class supposed to start? Because you have got maybe a child in grade 1. How many years? 6, 7, 2. Now, when they are 6 years and the place is very cold, is it possible for you to take that child saa 11, saa 12? So when will the lesson supposed to start? You see, this one the lesson will start very late. But in a very hot area, where the temperature is very high, we normally start very early in the morning. By saa moja already the lesson should start. By saa kumi, the lesson is supposed to end. By saa saba, before saa saba. And then the other class, evening class, is supposed to start very late. So that at least the time when it is becoming a bit cold. So we are looking at those environmental awareness. Social changes also take place. You see, the society we are living is having different forms of changes. For example, in my community where I was, there's changes that is taking place within that area. But these are people who are always fighting one another. Fight one another. There is Turkana, there is Samburu, there is Redil, there is Lasnach, there is Borana, there are Gabra. They are fighting one another. When a man kills somebody, that person is recognized as a very important person. He's a hero. And then when you take maybe some properties, animals, and bring it home, hey, ladies will start now singing for you. Is it a good thing? Is that good? No. Killing somebody and somebody is celebrating, and then the family of that person is crying, and you are celebrating someone. Is that good? So we said that enough is enough. And today, the whole of last year, and then this year, we are now using all the communities around. We meet together with them. We try to tell them the importance of living together and forgetting about those fighting. At least now for nearly 1 year, we are now in a safe hand. This is the changes that is coming about. The other one is economical shift. When we look at the economical shift, now what are we talking about? Things are changing according to the economy of the country. When the economy of the country is good, then everything will be good. When the economy of the country is bad, then everything will be bad. You see right now, the government has came up with what you call what? For colleges and universities. What type of funding? Yeah. You see that it's a modern type of funding whereby people are categorized according to what you call the band. Band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5. Now, those who have came up with that band, I don't know whether they had it their maybe sons or daughters. Uko na watoto ngapi sasa? One. Are you taking them differently? Unasema huyu yangu one and huyu anaweza kupatia huyu huwezi patia huyu hivi. Unafanya hivi? Yes. I think all our sons and our daughters are supposed to be the same. We don't treat them differently or treat them differently. And that is because of that problem, that is why we are suffering in all the universities and colleges. Because up to now, for 2 years, the students' capitation has not been released. See? So it is the problem of economy. Economical shift is another problem that we are having. Then the other one is education and a lifelong learning. We say that education is a long life learning. And when we talk about long life learning, we are supposed to have to continue learning. Don't say that I'm old. Teachers, please what you do, be a role model. Be an example to your learners. At least move a step ahead. If you have done your degree, now do your master's. If you have done your master's, do your PhD. Continue with your education. To my surprise, last year about one, a mother of 68 years completed Form 4 with a third daughter. Mtoto yake mwaka 10 na Form 4 wanamaliza ngapi? 16. Okay. Msichana ni 16 years. Mama ni 68 years. Both of them were admitted to Alliance Girls. And one of our daughter is in Form 4 in Alliance Girls. ya ajabu. Mama, mtoto, the same class, and one is secondary school. When now another daughter is in Form 4 in the same school. The mother was brought by a Form 4 girl to the university, to the college, to the school. Meaning what? That education is a lifelong learning. It has no end. It has got only the beginning, but no end. You can still learn. Sasa, tuko moja. Are you ready to learn? Yes. Don't say that it's enough. Because some people will say that they have finished, maybe they are graduate, they have done maybe their PhD, masters, but they don't want to go for PhD because they have got the job. No. Continue. Endelea na hiyo. And therefore, when we look at now the core competence of 21st century, what are the core competence of 21st century in terms of education? Now, one is the critical thinking and problem solving. How are we supposed to think and how are we supposed to solve our problem as a person? Because you yourself, you must be aware that there is a problem, but how can you solve that problem of yours? Jana, an old man came to the office. His son is a third year at the University of Eldoret. Now the father has given the school fee so that he can pay for the school fee and continue with his education. Now yesterday when he came, the boy had already finished the money. He has not paid even a single cent for the school fee. He was not accepted to do the exam. You are the father. What are you going to do? Baba na mama, utafanya nini? Now the father was there. He said that even before I was giving the money, and then the boy goes and pays. But today he has not paid. He has not done the exam. And he's not within the university. Where is he? A friend of his, him say that he is in Nairobi. Namwambia baba namna gani sasa? Niambie nini? Tatafute. Atoe kutoka university. Namwambia tu ya kwamba baba, this is normal. It's not you only. Many have suffered the same thing. You see? Continue. Ita yeye, lipa school fee, aendelea masomo yake. Because he's not the only one. He's complaining because he's now having only one son in university. But I for myself. Tafanya nini? Nguvu sio? It's hard. It is painful sometimes to the parents. So you as a student now, you see the parents are suffering. They are working day and night to make sure that they provide everything for you. but what they are providing you, you misuse it. Ni mzuri? Hey, ni mzuri? Wanafunzi, is it good? Are you supposed to do that? Yeah. Iko moja, wacha niwaambie tena, University of Eldoret. Alianza form 1. First year. Kufungia tu first year, akapatana na msichana. Wakaoana. Without the father, the parents knowing, they have married one another. So the boy, instead of now paying for his fee, he's paying for his wife. Mwaka 4, kijana hajasoma, msichana akagraduate. Baada ya kugraduate, msichana akawacha kijana, akaenda zake. Baba ya kijana akakuja. Alikuja kwangu tu. Sijui whether was the bad person or what. Hebu angalia mimi kama kijana iko shida gani, mbona haja graduate? Kufungua ERP machine, kijana hajafanya exam moja hata from 1 first year to 4th year. Hata moja. Mzuri au mbaya? Yeah. Ni mzuri au mbaya wasichana? Umeweka box kwa boys. Boys wameweka box. So, be aware of all these things. Self-awareness. Then, communication. You see, as a team, we need to have good communication. And even as a staff, we need to have good communication. The chain of command is very important. Because we must move from one level to another one. Communication are normally in 3 different ways. It can be what we call upward, it can be what we call downward, it can be what we call sideways. When is it downward? When is it upward? When is it sideways? If it is sideways, if for example the students are discussing about their homework together because they are people of the same level, then that is what we call sideways. If it is the teaching staff discussing about their own issues, that is sideways. But if, for example, the students have got problems and they forward their problem to the administrators or administration, that is what we call upwards, from the junior to the senior. If it is downward, it is from the highest level in the institution to the lowest level. If it is from the information starts from the principal to the deputy principal, to the deans or maybe senior teachers, or teachers and students, that is what you call downwards. The communication should be always very clear. Sometimes we are giving wrong information. Information is interpreted wrongly, and then the learners or even maybe the management receive wrong information. And that is why there is sometimes tug of war between people. You see? Give an example. I am a unionist. I have been told that I am the Deputy Secretary General who was in Eldoret. I fight for rights of the union, my staff. So sometimes we are making communication. Because the BC is not there, there's the Deputy Vice Chancellor there. So we give information to the Deputy Vice Chancellor. But this deputy does not pass the information to the VC, the Vice Chancellor. So what happens? We are not getting the answers. So what are we going to do? So as a result, we started doing what you call what? Strikes. When we are making strikes, the VC is calling us. You know that I have not got this information. So nitamwambia nini? Ask your deputy VC. So, for example, kama ni hapa, if the deputy principal has not given the information to the principal, will the principal be aware? Is he going to be aware? No. So that is communication, lack of information to the right people. Higher. Now, the other one is about the digital literacy. See, the world is dynamic. We are supposed to now try to go into the technology. The technology that we are supposed to learn. So everybody here is supposed to learn about the what? The technology. Vile ya kutumia laptop, vile ya kutumia smartphones, all those things. Because sometimes you are given homework. And when you are given homework, you don't have maybe the books. But there is a book somewhere. Where? The smartphone. So, you can just Google and then you get all the information. That's what we are supposed to do. So the digital literacy is very important and therefore everybody is supposed to learn. Now, when we look at 21st century, we have got three different types of three important things. One is what we call intrapersonal. Intrapersonal. The second one is what we call self-direction and initiatives. The third one is adaptability and flexibility. So here we are looking at, are we adaptable? Are we sometimes flexible ourselves? Because sometimes we have problems. Within the family, there a problem. And now because the family has got the problem, they are unable to maybe pay your school fee that time, then you are just at home. It is not they wanted. It is something that happened. The economy is becoming bad. Therefore, what are we supposed to do? Adapt to the situation and be flexible to the situation. Now, when we look at self-direction and initiatives, here we are looking at now, how do we encourage the others? How can we direct others? For example, our students, as teachers, how can we direct them? How can we assist them in their problem solving? See, for example, in university, we have got the dean of students who is dealing with nothing else but the problem of the student. Any cases concerning the student is supposed to be taken to that place. So the dean of the student is supposed to inform now the members of the staffs of the union, of that maybe university, so that they can help that person to solve that problem of theirs. So that is what we are supposed to do. Then, when we look at maybe education approach. How can we approach the education? You see, the way we are approaching is different in the olden days. In the olden days, you must come to a class to be taught. It must be what we call face to face. The teacher there, the learners there. But you see, it can be possible sometimes. For example, we have got our teachers here. They are maybe in class teaching, but they want to continue with their learning. Can they continue? Yes. So we have got this flowing type of ways that we can now look at the education process. One, project-based learning. Project-based learning. Now when we look at the project-based learning, it's now whereby, for example, in most of the vocational centers or technical centers, we have got a project that we are supposed to do every term, I think. We are dealing terms, so not semester. Semester or terms? Terms, so every term there's something that you are supposed to do. First term, second term, third term. So you are supposed to be aware of what the projects are supposed to be undertaken every term. After you have known that you are the unit that you are supposed to take, then the second one is personalized learning. Every person has got his own likes and dislikes, which are the subject that you want to learn. Now, reading. Electrical. Eh? ICT. Rate. Eh? Agriculture. Architecture. Okay, very good. So everybody is now having his own personalized type of learning that he wants. So when we are looking at the educational process, it is always the desire that you have for that particular type of subject that you want to take or unit. Look at, for example, for my first degree, I took history and theory. My first degree. That is so when I was teaching the secondary school, I was teaching history and theory. But later on, say, wacha nifanye nini? For my masters, nikasema let me do administration management. Na for my PhD, nikasema nini? Let me deal with only administration. You see? So at the different stage of life, as you are progressing, you are supposed to have different motivations. Why are you choosing this one? For example, I wanted to become an administrator because already I was a head teacher. Already I am in a training. Now I wanted to become how that, for example, you speaking data, what are you supposed to know about it? That's what I did. Now, let us look at technical and vocational education. Technical and vocational education. Now, when we talk about technical, what about education or technical vocational? These are institutions of learning whereby people are learning different types of courses which they normally prefer, which they normally qualify for. Because you cannot do some of the courses you not qualify. And then from the certificate you can go upward. So we are supposed to have those things there. Now when we look at technical education, what are we? First, what is the objective, the specific objective of the technical or vocational learning centers? One is skill development. People must learn different skills. And you must be specialized in a certain skill. Not all the skill, not jack of all trade, but master to nothing. You are supposed to be jack of only one trade, specialized in one field. That's what you are supposed to do. Then, there must be continuous technological transfers. Now you see, you have started with certificate, then you go to the next level diploma, then from the next level to graduate, and then then promoting dignity of labor. Now when we are learning about technology, we are looking at the market. In the market today, what is the labor required? Don't just take all the courses the way you want. Look at it first. Is it a any market? If it does not have market, then don't take it. Look for a subject that has got the market. Now, what is the benefit of TVC? Benefit yake? Uzuri yake, importance yake ni one, filling the skill gaps. When you learn about technical or vocational courses, we are filling the skill gaps. There are skills that are required, and we want to fill that gap. So we are supposed to learn those gaps, those skills, so that at least we can now occupy those skills. So one of the reasons why we are learning this is to fill that gap. Two, career opportunities. See, when we want to continue with any progress in one unit or one subject or courses, we are supposed to have that opportunity. So that at least you can have what is called career progression. The third is entrepreneurial opportunities. When we talk about entrepreneurial opportunities, we are supposed to look at what? What are we supposed to be equipped with? In which area of expertise are we supposed to undertake? And next is inclusivity. Now, technical institution does not put people aside. Whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are coming from marginalized, or whether you are maybe from rural area or urban area, we are supposed to be included everywhere. Even the physically or disabled ones are supposed to be included. We don't neglect. We don't try to put some people aside and continue with others. Now, what are the challenges in the Tibet? What are the challenges that you are facing? I don't know whether it is true, because I'm not in Tibet, but you are in the Tibet. I want to see whether it is true. Now, one of the challenges is high demand versus limited opportunities. High demand versus limited opportunities. Many people want to become the RCT. They want to take that course. It's high demand. But if we decide in one, we are saying, for example, we require about 500, but about 1,000 are being done. So what will happen? What will happen? The demand is high, but the opportunity is limited now. Because 1,000 cannot be employed. It's just like the one of the teachers. Right now, how many teachers are required? Because every year, if we look at the 45 public universities plus the private universities, we have got 70 universities today. Now, these 70 universities are releasing every year more than 3,000 or 5,000, depending on the number of maybe the students. So it means, if only we just say it is 1,000, 70 and 1,000 will be 70,000. Sure. If it is 2,140, but the government wants only 29, 20, 30. So what will happen together? What will happen? So that is what we call now limited opportunities. High demand is there, but it is limited. There are two, poverty and affordability. See, we are coming from maybe some humble background. Some of us were rich, some of us were poor. But all in all, what are we supposed to do? We want to get education. But for us to get this education, circumstance was that because our parents are not able to pay for the school fees or the college fees. This is now the problem we are getting. And we see it affordable, it's not affordable. That's like, for example, right now, I have got 4 in university. I have got 4 in secondary school. I am the only person earning. I'm very secondary school because you just only pay the school fee. But the university, you are paying the school fee, they have kids. Sio, nyumba mnakodisha, chakula mnataka, sio, everything mnataka. So every day, if I was before with university, and every day, if one of them has not ring me and ask for money, so you need to look at also this. Then curriculum review or relevancy. The curriculum that we are learning, are they relevant? See, are they needed in the market? Because for example, for us to make sure that this curriculum are normally implemented, then we need to have the number of the students required, and then we are supposed to look at is there job opportunities after we finish. One thing that you should know, don't think that when you finish colleges, you will get a job. Look for the job. And if it is not possible, can you just do the job by yourself, your own job? Your own job. If, for example, you are a teacher and you are not employed, and you have just went around the other schools and you are not employed, and you start your own school. That's the job. Yes. Start your own school. No? Just only due to class 1 first. Then start teaching. You will just get the number of the students required. If, for example, you are somebody's mechanic, yes, and you are not getting a job, start your own workshop. own workshop. So, don't just say that, okay, because I have learned and I have not good job. Good about the job. See how it Next, theoretical focus. You see, sometimes, even in our own some of the universities or even colleges, something that is supposed to be done experimental is only done theoretical. Remember when I was in technical school, nasema hivi, kwanza mwalimu anafundisha kwa class the theory parts. Baada ya kumaliza the theory, kesho tunaenda kwa practical. Ndivyo unafanya hivyo? Yes, that is what is supposed to be done. But in other places right now, there is no practical that is being done. It is only the theory the teacher teach and teach. That is why the content that the learner is supposed to learn is not complete. Next is industrial leakage. We need to make sure that the institution is linked to any industrial leakage that we have. So, okay. So let us look at the principles of inclusive education. The principles of inclusive education. How can we include all the learners in the education in Kenya? How can we include? For example, if this institution can accommodate 1,000 students, why are we not getting 1,000 students? How can we include people from different places in this year? So that we can have a good number. You see? For example, I started a secondary school in my place, I got just a very few number of the students file. But later on, I started now using the professionals. You started using the elders. So the elders started telling the people that take our children to these schools. The professionals did the same. And then later on we got a very good number. That's what we are supposed to do. So in that case, when we look at the principles of inclusive education, we look at one, professional delivery. How do we, when we talk about professional delivery, what does it mean? If it is, for example, learning, who is supposed to teach? Who is supposed to teach? A teacher. And the teacher who is supposed to teach that unit must be the person who is what? Who has been trained in that unit. If it is, for example, somebody teaching mathematics, somebody who is specialized in mathematics. If it is electrical, somebody who is specialized in electrical. That is professional delivery. Because that person is a professional and therefore is delivering what he knows. Next, equal access. When we talk about equal access, everybody is supposed to get equal type of delivery, the content required. Because for example, when the teacher comes to teach, he is always carrying his own content, what he's going to deliver. So what he's supposed to deliver that day, he's supposed to deliver. How he delivers matters a lot. Sure. But when, for example, when you are in primary school and secondary school, the teacher is asking you, have you understood? But in colleges and universities, the teacher does not ask you that. Why? Because you are grown up. If you have not understood, it is your work to ask. No? So the teacher does not tell you now, have you understood? Because you are grown up. Kama hujafahamu, uliza. Uliza si ujinga, lakini kunyamaza ni ujinga. Na tumekuja kutoa nini? Ujinga. Tumekuja kutoa nini? Ujinga. Sio? So kwa hivyo kutoa hiyo ujinga, lazima ulize. Kama hujafahamu, uliza. Next, non-discriminations. Now, when you look at education inclusiveness, it is supposed to be non-discrimination. Nobody is supposed to be discriminated. If it is a matter of giving education, let everybody get education the way it is required. The other one is barrier-free transitions. Barrier-free transitions. For somebody to transit to the next level, we must have completed the work in the first area, first class or first year, so that we continue with the next one. So in education, inclusive education, we make sure that those barriers are there. And lastly, we reflect holistic development. Holistic development. Now, when we look at the strategies of inclusion, this is what we normally look at also. One, universal design for learning. Universal design for learning. Because every curriculum has got its own content to be delivered. So you make sure that that content is there in that place. Then varieties of instructional formats. What are the formats to be used for giving the instruction? Sometimes we can now use what we call online. We can have what we call face-to-face. Now, whichever method you use, you make sure that the content is delivered. Then individual education plan. As a teacher, we must have always a plan. And that's why we are always preparing every day what we call lesson plan. Why are we preparing lesson plan? We have got the scheme of work that we have prepared. From that scheme of work, we prepare the lesson plan, and then we now deliver to the learners. Behavior management plans. How are we supposed to arrange or try to manage our behavior? As learners, how are you managing your behavior? As a teacher or lecturer, how are you supposed to manage your behavior? So chunga ya behavior yako. Mwalimu akikuambia kwamba umekuwa na behavior mbaya, know yourself. Be aware of yourself. Now, when we look at education, we must look at the history of education. When we look at the history of education, what are we looking at? I will come to this career now. Now, when we talk about the career progression, what are we referring to? You see, we need to move ahead. We need to change. We need to get more educated. We have said that when we got our independence, the system that we inherited was a system called 444 system, which was based on what we call racial segregations. For example, our second president, Moi, he was in the Apache Teacher Training College when he was in standard 4. So after finishing standard 4, he went and joined as a teacher. Why? Because that time there is no teachers. Teachers are not there. And a lot of schools are lacking teachers. So even a standard 4 can just become a teacher. But after we got our independence, the system of education changed. We got our independence in the year 1963 on 12th of December. On 19th of December, the president came up with a commission called Media Commission, which now came up with a system in the year 1964, and it came up with a system called 7-4-2-3 system. 7 years of primary school, 4 years of secondary school, which is called O level, 2 years of high school, which is called A level, and then 3 years university. I went to do that stage. You go by the stage. So, later on, in the year 1985, a key commission was formed to come up with the second university in Kenya. But the commission came up with a system of education, and at the same time they created one university in Kenya at the Eldoret, which is called Moi University. And they came up with a system called the 844. You went through that, you? Yeah. I started teaching the 844 the first time when they are started, 1985. Is that so? Eh? 1985 was a foundation. So, but the thing is not enough. You see, after certain years, we must come up with change, because change is as good as rest. If there's no change, then you just live with everything the same, there's a problem. So in the year 2018, now, through the KICC committee, they came up with a system called what? 2-6-3-3-3, whereby the present system of education is now that one. 2-6-3-3-3. 2 years of primary, 6 years of primary school, 3 years of junior secondary, 3 years of senior secondary, 3 years of university. So the first group already, they are now in the 9th grade. The 9th, so they are now finishing up the junior secondary school this year. So next year they will go to now the senior secondary schools. Now, the same as this system are continuing, whereby when you finish one stage, you go to the next one. That is what we refer to as what we call career progression. You progress from one grade to another, from one career to another one. That's as you have been told. I never just kept quiet. Even when I started getting the salary, I never said that let this salary be saved. I put them in the account. I started continuing with my education. I went to did my degree. I finished my degree. I went and did my master. I finished my master. And then I went to did my doctorate. I continue. Still now, I'm still learning. Although I'm not doing any exam, any testing, I'm still learning. You see? Why? Because why are we learning? Because every year things are coming, different things are coming. So we must have progression. For example, I am a lecturer now. There is different stages ahead of me in terms of promotion. I'm supposed to be called senior lecturer. I'm supposed to be called associate professor. I'm supposed to be called professor. For me to reach that level, I must do certain things. So, for me to now progress to reach the highest level in academic, then I must do something. That is why I'm writing books. That is why I'm publishing journals. If you go to the field, go just and put it there, Dr. Elle, you'll see my document in those areas. See? So this is what we are looking at. So changes, see, the changes we are having will always determine what type of a person you are. Even if there is no money, when you get the money, what do you do with it? I'm sure there is sometimes because of the pressure that we cannot progress, but try as much as possible to reach a certain level. Because education has no end, it has got only. So your career progression is supposed to have no end. After you finish here, come to the universities. If you look at the University of Eldoret, this is one of the first universities in Kenya under the Moi that came up with what we call the technology departments, dealing with all types of mechanical engineering, plumbing, all those things. Up to now, we are dealing with them. We are offering now degree for them. We are offering for masters. We are offering for PhD. So welcome to University of Eldoret. Now, this University of Eldoret is one of the best universities in Kenya today. That is why you see that the students are being admitted in large number. This year we have accommodated 5,000 students. 5,000. Why? Because if it is not your problem, you are supposed to graduate within 4 years. If you have done your diploma, you are supposed to go for 3 years. How many years? 3 years. Why? Because we are giving you 1 year already you have done for the doctorate, I mean for the diploma level. So you start as a second year. So you just take how many years? For you to do the masters, you are supposed to take 2 years. 1 year plus what? 1 year presentation of your thesis, and then you graduate. For PhD, you are taking 3 years. 1 year plus what? 2 years now. Thesis. Because 1 full year, you look for the data. Si kama master sasa. Wakati unakuja for the first defense, professors watakuwa huko, watakushambulia. Si dogo, this person has done zero work. You have done You have done this thing there at the site, you have tried to look for all information and put it there, but somebody tell you you have done zero work. And then you are talking it again. You do it. Yes. You know we have learned a lot. We have learned a lot. And you are supposed to learn a lot. So when we look at career progression, this is what we are referring to. Move from one level where you are to the next level. Fast now. So this is where I have stopped. Any question is accepted. Nimesema kuuliza si, lakini kunyamaza ni utoe ujinga, tuulize. Haya.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daktari, for that wonderful presentation. Audience, you will agree with me that, when we talk of self-awareness, largely what Daktari was saying is your ability to recognize, understand your thoughts, your feelings, and even emotions. If you're able to do that, so when you talk of self-awareness, we are talking about a meeting. You call for a meeting between yourself and create harmony between your thoughts, whatever transpires in your heart and your actions. That is self-awareness. And I am happy with what Tanya said, that education has a beginning and it does not have an end. So yes, we have a course with us. It could be an artisan course, it could be a certificate course, a diploma course. It is a client course, therefore, that we progress to the highest level possible. Until you are, we used to call them gurus. We used to call gurus. Until you are a guru in your field. Yeah. Daktari has said he's a doctor now, and he has about 3 steps to go. And we are grateful, Daktari, because of the heart. During my days, there used to be a dry saying called Energizer. And when they were advertising, they used to say what? Never say die. Yeah. Who's that advert? Never say die. That should be the heart, eh? Never say die. So it's put wherever you are. Even those who want to join us this time around, labda ulipata alama fulani katika kidato cha nne. So identify a course with us. So for those of us who have E and D minus, you can begin with level 4. D stand and D plus, you can begin with level 5. That is the equivalent of certificate. Those who have C minus and above, you can begin with level 6. That is equivalent to a diploma. So let that be a starting point. And that starting point, Tamani, Kutembea, they say what? They say the higher you go, the quality becomes. And it is true. The more you go, you find out from the time. So let's Tamani to end the eyes until we achieve. We want to recognize the values. What is something?
You see, when we are moving from one level to another, it's not very easy. Because I said, for example, I have been a trained teacher, which is called UT. Because I have not went for the training, but I started teaching. So I was called a trained teacher that time. Now later on I went to the teachers training college, I qualified and I was admitted. And if today I have worked in a primary school, I have worked in a secondary school, now I'm working in university. Now for 40 years, I am now in the public service. 40 years. But still I have got another 10 years to come. Because I'm supposed to retire at 70, but this strike are using to December of October, the lecturers must go for 74 years. So, the government has accepted that we are supposed to retire at the age of 74 years. So still I have got another 10 years to go. You see? So this is what we are supposed to do. Progression can help you a lot. You see, when you become a teacher, then to the head teacher, then you become principal. Now I am here at the university. You see? Now, holding very many posts. I am a unionist, and I always try to fight for the workers. Fight for the workers. For example, if recently, if you have not fight for the workers will not get the most money. I just need to depart with a card. Yeah. Kila moja amepata kila 60,000 and we are expecting 350,000, 150 this year, another 150 next year. Yes, because the government is supposed to pay us. And still that is not enough. We are striking for the local nyumbani pia. Yes, tunafanya kazi usiku na mchana, lakini tunaambiwa tupatiwe kitu kidogo at least. Kama ndivyo tunapata. So we are fighting. You see today, I can go all the time. But for example, next year or some years to come, it is now you taking over from us. When you are taking over, we want to make sure that before we leave, then we take standard so that you get your car loans, you get your house mortgage and everything. So by going to the universities, from now next year onwards, we are supposed to have the car loans. We are supposed to have the house mortgage. So hata hii muendelee. Walimu, welcome please to the University of Elle. It's a good university. I will try to teach you and get the certificate. So, wanafunzi, after you finish here, welcome to the University of Elle. Na usikale tafadhali sana. Don't give up. Don't say that nilianguka, hakuna mtu ameanguka. Fanya bidii, pita vizuri, hata kama ukipata certificate, leta diploma. Diploma leta, chama yako na sana kwa so wakati kile wakati anafanya exam hata na zerai. So because of this, alipata D+, yeah. So nikasema fanya hivi. Nenda diploma. Akamaliza diploma. Nenda na degree. Sasa hapo kufanya masters. So please don't give up. If you give up, your life will be in danger. It is better for you not to give up and do as much as possible. Furahisha wazazi. Today they are doing something for you. Tomorrow it is you. Wacha nimwambie yangu. My father passed away when I was in primary. My mother took care of me. The whole of primary school, the whole of secondary school, until I graduated first degree. And and I made sure that she was there during the graduation. So, fresh out here. So that you pass very well, you graduate, when you are graduating, your parents are there together with you to see your achievements. So, umoja, wanaoja, theory kwanza, this sky is not the limit. So, move. Don't say that unaona ya kwamba tunaangalia hapa juu. Tunaona hiyo sky white, sio? Yeah, immediately call it the other side. Itakuwa ni wanaangalia juu wataona tu sky inaenda tu mbele. Because it has no end. This is the only the farthest our eyes can reach. That's why we are seeing those things there. Lakini ukienda juu, the sky, the limit is not there. So I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Daktari has said the sky is not the limit. So to address, we have a question from the audience. Clarification, question directed to the Daktari. Thank you, Daktari. I think you also telling us that we, even as a staff, we can go to that place. Yes, we promised us that it's going to give us a special treatment. Alright, so before I ask a volunteer to give a photo to appreciate, allow me to recognize the presence of our parents. As was related. If there is any. Thank you. Thank you. Just received results the other day. Wale wanatafuta a course to pursue in our midst. We have them. Please don't shy off. So as an institution, we have, I know that's what Islam mentioned, we have a series of courses. So you can have time, take our brochure, go for a course that you can sense your passion, and then begin, depending on the performance of the form, begin from there. We have a range of one courses, and begin from there as we progress to other stages in life. Otherwise, the time is so grateful, we are so happy. Naomba tu mtu akuje just to appreciate Daktari. Volunteer. From Naomi. Can lead us.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. I'm Madam Naomi from the Food and Beverage Department. And Daktari, thank you for coming. It has really been a nice conversation. So I was, okay, because we talked about going step by step, there is a saying that says, like there is no illiterate person, the most illiterate person in the 21st century is the person who doesn't want to learn, change, and unlearn what they learned. So I hope you've learned, you're willing to change, and unlearn what you can learn. So the students, I hope you had, even if you had a D class, if you had a D, embrace that grade that you had. Make sure that you get it to the equivalent. Mnasikiaga wanasemaga an equivalent to the, okay, when they're advertising a job, they say a diploma or an equivalent. Or when you want to do a diploma, they say you should have a similar take it to its equivalent. So the next time, you'll be proud of yourself for the achievements that you've done step by step. Na the next time pia utaitwa daktari. Ukitwa daktari ni tamu sana. I want you to be called daktari. Thank you, daktari, for coming.
All right, thank you so much. Let's do the female style, huh? Ours is a factorial. Is it the female style or the imperial style? That can be arrow. You can go in CBC. All right, okay. Female style. Thank you, like that. The first 1 and 2, 1 to 6, 3 and 3. So is that clear? The first one is 1 and 2. Next one is 1, 2, then 1 to 6, and then 3 and then 3. 2, 6, 3, 3. Is that okay? Yes. Can we do a demonstration? Let's make some good flowers. Let's drop now. So that was a demonstration. Let's do a serious one. Kabisa mara moja tu.